Welcome to another edition of Chicago Crossing Model Railroad. It's me, Eric, here with you. Hope you're having a great weekend. I will tell you, over the years, I have really ignored this section of the layout. For about 9 years or so that this layout has been in existence, I've really never done anything with it other than just use it as car storage, but almost no scenery, no interest. Old tunnel back there that used to separate this section from the rest, and a couple of trees and things like that. But really, it's had almost no significance to the layout other than being a stub yard. Well, the thing is, on a small model railroad like this, every section that you have counts. Let's talk a little bit about urban canyons. This would qualify as an urban canyon, and basically what that is it's an alleyway of railroad track or a road or something like that that happens to pass through a series of buildings. It's like a natural canyon, but in this case just made with artificial things like buildings and structures. So with a long neglected scene like this, doing something drastic like removing a tunnel is a great opportunity to rethink exactly what something like this can and should be to the layout. And, you know, as you saw, this whole process of taking this structure and basically putting it together as a new element of the model railroad ends up being really a catalyst for creativity. So let's talk about how this works scenically as an urban canyon and what the strategy is for dealing with this. Well, first off, this building is basically a cardboard mock-up that now has a skin of a couple of Atlas Middlesex Manufacturing Company kits on it. You know, this Middlesex Manufacturing kit, you look at the picture on the websites and it's like, what the heck is this thing? It's a weird red on red building, almost looks like it's just really, awful molded plastic. Truth is though, the kit itself actually isn't too bad, and given the prototype that I'm looking to model, the kind of spiritual or overall connection with these arched windows like you'd find in late 19th century, early 20th century architecture actually matches really nicely. So this Atlas kit provides kind of the plastic feedstock for the custom scratch build that will be this building. Other element just to notice is I've also mocked up what will essentially be a piece of abandoned spur that's only indicated by railroad ties that will come back into as if at one point this track was rearranged, maybe didn't have this ladder, and that this came off of a second track right here. And that's fine. Railroad track is dynamic. It is not in place for centuries. People will modify things. So that piece of track here will be an indicator of what this building used to be used for, as opposed to having cars drive up and down or trucks in the back there providing storage. So making this anchor into an urban canyon here is really a collaboration between not just this element here, but between an element that I think sometimes gets overlooked, which is the Scenic Backdrop that will eventually encompass all three sides of this model railroad here. Now, in a background setting, things like that are not so bad. In a foreground setting where you are essentially mating together a building like this, which is three-dimensional, and if I zoom out, you can see comes right up to the very front of the layout. Trying to mate that together with a completely featureless, textureless paper structure just does not work out well. And so the scenic backdrop here will be building flats that are models. In other words, they won't be photographs. They will actually be real models, building facades, things like that. And that offers two key points. Number one is the ability to light the buildings and have them come out from the masonite that will eventually form the backdrop here. But then also secondly, it just provides the appropriate collaboration in terms of texture, form, and feel with the structures over on this side. And to create that urban canyon, you have to have something here. I will tell you that for the 9-year history of Chicago crossing, this stub yard has been the most boring thing. It is probably going to be, in the number of months it takes me to basically execute all of this stuff here, probably one of the most interesting. Urban canyons are really captivating scenes. I think if executed correctly, they can provide an element of scenic interest and of storytelling and diorama possibilities that are truly phenomenal. And especially from the eye-level view, something like this can be a lot of fun to look at and a lot of fun to railroad on. Okay, well, let's leave it at that. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Talk again soon.